Welcome back to Building Dad Bod 2.0. So I got big news. I hired a strength coach slash physiotherapist, online coach out of the States. Gonna help me get my mobility back. You can see here doing some squats. It feels super awkward. It's just 200 pounds. Deadlifts feel awkward at this point too. My hips just aren't moving right. So she's gonna help me with that, help me with some programming and some mobility drills. So thought I'd show some of the mobility stuff. This is my first day doing some hip mobility. So just some banded kind of dynamic movements, some hip traction, trying to open my hips up, get them moving better. So it's got me doing some banded exercises here, moving front to back. Then I'm rotating the foot out, doing the same thing again, doing about 12 reps here each way, then switching legs. And then I'm going from the side. So again, this way, pulling the hip open from the side, same thing, dynamic movement, moving back and forth, and then bringing the foot out. Really trying to open up those hips. And then my hips basically don't rotate, so just sitting down doing some hip swings here, trying to get more mobility, internal and external rotation. Nerve flossing, so they had me doing them supposed to one leg at a time, but I've done lots of nerve flossing due to my back condition. So I like doing 2 legs at a time, feet go back, head down, then as your feet come up, head goes back. Here, we're just doing some hamstring activation, so getting the hamstrings to fire before I start doing some rack pulls. And then we're on to rack pulls. So because my hips aren't super mobile, we're going to start with some rack pulls while I work on hip mobility. And then we're going to work our way down to some conventional deadlifts. I was really happy. I haven't done really any rack pulls since my back surgery. Worked my way up to 354 pounds for sets of 6 reps. Weird weight because I use kilogram plates. Live in Canada, so got to use the kg plates. So rack pulls felt really good, really smooth. Voiceovering today is the day after. My traps and upper back are pretty fatigued, so that's great. Lower back actually feels fine. Just really focused on having really tight core and driving through with my glutes. I didn't really know what to expect. I just started with basically 132 pounds and then just kept adding weight until I felt comfortable, but didn't want to push it too hard the first day. So we'll see where we can go from here. Next up, she had me programmed to do some good mornings, sets of 10 to 15. I like doing them with my homemade PVC wobbly bar, just because I can get a really good stimulus, really activate my core, my glutes, my hamstrings, but I don't have to put a ton of weight on my spine at this point. So I maxed out at just 120 pounds here. Key to this is before you go down, make sure your core is really tight. I like to look up the whole time so I can keep as much of an arch in my back as I can. You don't want your back to round forward or you lose the tension in your hamstrings. And then the next thing is just to do a really good solid hip hinge. You don't want that being all the stress in your lower back. You want to take that stress in your glutes and your hamstrings. So a really good hip hinge, legs slightly bent, tight core, big chest, and look up. And in my experience, that is the safest way to do a good morning for me without stressing my lower back too much. So I did 15 reps at 90 pounds and then did sets of 10 at 120 pounds. Again, lower back's feeling really good today, so that's good. Didn't stress it too much. Glutes and hamstrings are feeling it, and then my upper back, like I said, is really feeling the rack pulls today, which is nice. Hit my upper back. I work upper back a lot, but I haven't done a lot of heavy pulls, so really feeling it in the traps, which is great. After that, we got just some glute bridges. She had me starting off doing 2 up, 1 down. I don't know if there's a specific purpose for that yet. We just started. Partway through, I switched just to going 1 up, 1 down. That just feels more comfortable, and a little more challenging for me. So I'll ask her about that and see if there's a reason why I need to be doing 2 up, 1 down, or if I can just go 1 up, 1 down and continue on with that. Did sets at 12. Glute bridges are a great way to get just good glute activation and build some glute strength. You don't really get a big stretch at all, so they're not the best muscle building exercise. Then on to McGill Pull Ups. So this is the last day of my 6 weeks McGill Pull Ups. Next Tuesday, the 14th, is going to be my results day. Going to do as many reps as I can, and we'll see if I made any improvement. So expect the McGill pull-up results out by the end of next week. I know a lot of people have been looking towards that. Banded pull-aparts for my rear delts is something I like to throw in a lot. You can do these like up to 7 days a week if you want. Super easy to recover from, but you get a good activation in the rear delts with them. And then I like to do today was basically a lower body, like heavier focused lower body pull, and then a lighter upper body pull. I like to do some kind of a vertical pull, like a pull up, pull down, and then a high row horizontal pull and a low row horizontal pull. See there, just showing that rear delt's got a good activation there. And then I'm doing a single arm low row. Single arm's nice. You get a really massive stretch in your lat on the way down, and then you can kind of pivot on the way up and get really deep upper back activation. Absolutely love this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next week with the McGill pull-up results.